plucked off. I got plucked off, but I think my Rumble is still connected. I do not know. A sensitive topic, I guess. Wouldn't you say? Let me finish what I was saying. Part one, if you're just tuning into this, is an earlier broadcast. What happened, Todd? I'll put the second page up of that report. It would explain alleged inconsistencies in Biden's looks, public appearances, speech patterns, and policy decisions during his presidency. Some point to the drastic change in his looks, the discrepancies with his height, claiming he appeared much taller than his listed height of 6 foot, the way he talked, and even some claimed they could see the edges of the mask they allege he was allegedly wearing. The Justice Department has said that the Epstein files include unvetted claims submitted during the Epstein investigation, not official findings or verified evidence. Biden did not release the files during his tenure as president, but President Trump spearheaded the effort, making sure they were being made public. Oh my goodness! I think I got something happened. I think I was saying verboten words. Wouldn't you all agree? Here we go again. Remember how many times I've been taken down all of a sudden in the middle of a broadcast? Very odd. Yeah, I'm back. Oh my gosh, that's right, Miss Minda Sue. Right, Melinda? Yeah, they got me again. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming in. Yes, hit the thumbs up again. Holy cow. Well, I that broadcast was under an hour. So I'm going to put part 2 on my thumbnail of this right here. I'll put part 2 under oh snap so everybody knows this is part 2. Unless, now if they knock me off again, I'll have to watch it, and come up again tomorrow night and hope I don't get in trouble for some of the stuff I've been saying and things I've been putting up that have traditionally been verboten. So, all right. Let me get my footing here. Ha ha ha! I'll jump from the frying pan into the fire. Well, Trump posted, I'll tone it down a little bit. Trump posted this. Be like Poland is what Trump posted. Be like Poland.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me, if you're asking me about Muslims illegal immigration, none, not even one will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland. We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants, I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
Ms. Lockbeal, I mean...
The lowest unemployment in European Union is Poland. The highest GDP after COVID in European Union is Poland. One of the lowest debts in European Union is Poland. So don't give us this rubbish about the need of educated immigration, as we heard yesterday. We don't need your doctors. We don't need your engineers. Take them all and pay for them. We don't need them. You know why? Because there's zero terrorist attacks in Poland. Why? Because there is no illegal migration in Poland. So don't give me this look. Don't give me these arguments about the populism, because this is a fact. This is your data from Eurostat. So we don't need your engineers. We don't need your doctors. Take them. Do not teach us. Do not teach us about democracy, because we know what the democracy is. So learn from Poland. Be like Poland.
Thank you very much.
Ha ha ha! Yeah, Donald Trump put that up. The Europeans are listening to Trump. Trump said, "You're destroying your own nations." We have to look at these treaties we have with the country you used to be, because you're a different country. We don't like it anymore. You've let yourself go. Remember that little talk I was giving? Well, here is a candidate in Germany for the AFD party. AFD, I'm sorry. Deutschland. Here's how she's talking about immigration. There's going to be an anti-migrant, I'll say an anti-invasion movement all across Europe and the United States.
Wir haben die Antworten. Wir haben einen Plan. Wir haben einen Zukunftsplan für Deutschland, den wir in den ersten 100 Tagen einer Regierungsbeteiligung angehen. Die Grenzen lückenlos schließen und jeden illegal und ohne Papiere Einreisenden zurückweisen und eine ganz klare Ansage an alle Welt: Die deutschen Grenzen sind dicht, liebe Freunde. Sie sind dicht. Die Versorgung von Asylbewerbern von Sachleistungen umstellen. Sozialleistungen für Nicht-Aufenthaltsberechtigte streichen und Rückführung im großen Stil durchführen. Und ich muss Ihnen ganz ehrlich sagen, wenn es dann Remigration heißen soll, dann heißt es eben Remigration. Das Asylrecht muss endlich eingehalten werden. Asyl ist Aufenthalt auf Zeit und endet, wenn der Fluchtgrund entfällt. Versorgung von Flüchtlingen vor Ort, damit sie erst gar nicht nach Deutschland kommen. Turbo-Einbürgerung und die Verramschung des deutschen Passes, so wie es die CDU betreibt, sofort beenden. Das ist mit uns nicht zu machen. Und nach dem Vorbild der Niederlande und von Ungarn Ausstieg aus dem EU-Asylsystem. Ganz einfach. Deutschland wird unter unserer Führung aus dem EU-Asylsystem austreten. Darauf können Sie sich verlassen.
They're going to exit. They're going to exit the EU asylum system. You can count on it. They've been having their culture destroyed. Hi, Sparky. How you doing? Hi, everybody that found me. Christina Aguirre is the only one that put up something about Biden. That's not anything that was put up by Trump or anything official. I think that might be why I got plucked in the eyeball in my earlier video. So I don't know. We'll see. But this is part of the reason right here. What would you say? A rattled-looking, disturbed, middle-aged liberal. Why the hell do they want to give our country away? Why?
Let me ask you a quick question. We're trying to get back undocumented people who were deported by ICE. Do you support that?
Of course I do.
Could we get your signature real quick? We're part of the Bring Them Back campaign. Specifically, Darwin Vasquez Ramos. who was deported in Maryland this week. And I do have to tell you, he was convicted of third-degree sex offense, but we think he deserves a second chance.
Okay.
Could we just get your signature? And what do you think about what's going on with ICE right now?
Well, it upsets me very much. We don't look like our country anymore.
We don't look like our country.
Yeah.
If you support bringing him back to the U.S., he needs a place to stay. Could he come and stay with you?
No, I don't have any place for him to stay.
You don't?
But you have my signature.
Thank you.
Yeah, just dump him on somebody else, you old bat. What is it with these damn people? Here's the one where it was CNN. CNN has to admit that Trump kicked out Epstein. They really can't spin this. They try a little bit, but I believe this is part of the Truth and Reconciliation Act where they have to get up there and report the truth.
Epstein. The Journal reports that a spa worker from Mar-a-Lago often made house calls to Jeffrey Epstein's home 2 miles away. But those house calls, quote, came to a halt in 2003 after an 18-year-old beautician returned to the club from a house call to Epstein and reported to managers that he had pressured her for sex. The HR manager faxed Trump a letter suggesting that the club ban Epstein, and Trump agreed, which does mirror the president's own public comments about why he cut ties with Epstein. The White House is responding to the Wall Street Journal, writing, no matter how many times this story is told and retold, the truth remains President Trump did nothing wrong, and he kicked Jeffrey Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep.
He cut ties with Jeffrey Epstein long before Epstein became a convicted sex offender. A lot of Democrats didn't, and it is corroborated by the Wall Street Journal tonight.
Yep, in the Wall Street Journal and on CNN. Because I believe they're not only going to get sued, but they're going to be looking at criminal charges. I think it's too late that some of them are going to have criminal charges. But if they want to avoid more, they better start telling the truth. And I saw what you put up there, Miss Vindersue. We got to be honest with the question of jihadists, okay? Not all Muslims. I've told many times a story about a friend of mine who was raised as Muslim, and it was a dear friend of mine. He served in the United States Marine Corps. He signed up the day after our embassy was taken over in 1979 by Iranian militants. So, no, I'm not broad brushing Islam, okay? But we have to be honest. Did you all see Mom Dami? I might have to get a clip of that. Mom Dami saying words with a Muslim accent and telling people that the nation might need Islam as a religion of peace, as a religion of immigration. Immigration, the history is of conquerors. Conquerors. Look up Saladin. Look up anything about the history of Muslim nations. It's not peaceful immigration. It's conquering. And anyway, I got on the screen there that you can copy and put on your Facebook, Meta, whatever page, or share with your friends how Japan handles Islam. And Trump put up a truth that there's a big election coming up. And, of course, he's endorsed a lady that's welcomed him so nicely. And let's hope that whoever Trump wants to get in there gets in there. But you can see some of the points here. One cannot import a Quran unless published. No, can't import a Quran published in Arabic language. They must follow Japanese law and language. Among the other points you see on the screen, I'll leave it there for you, but I encourage you to get a screenshot. Here's one of these characters. Of course, he's got a hysterical white liberal woman. This guy's name is Ed Hugh. Ed Hugh, and he is a militant anti-ICE person, and he finally getting arrested. And this woman's like, what did he do? What for? Boy, I wish he would have took it just a little, just far enough to get tased and thrown in the back of a car. But you notice since all these things have been going on, and since Tom Homan gave his speech like a Dutch uncle, he was firm, but he was real. And he told people, you're not going to stop us. So, how much they've calmed down now that they've been really putting out arrests.
You put the gun on him. What's the reason? What's the reason? What's the reason?
They tried to kill me. They had 8 guns on me. They ran into me. They tried to kill me. I need Minnesota to take care of this.
Right now because I need an incident commander. I'm essentially requesting.
I'm a political representative. I have my campaign. It's a political target.
You have a thing. I don't want to lose eyes on him. Can you please use your thing? I would like an incident commander. Can you please call one?
Okay, we have 2 officers that are more senior.
So why are you guys taking him for? Who is that incident commander? Okay. Who is the incident? Why are you taking him?
I'm telling you there's an incident.
Okay. Why are you taking him? I haven't seen you guys all the way back there.
Yeah, they know they've been arrested.
So why are you taking him? What's the reason for his arrest?
He saw us trying to do our investigation, and there's days that he put targets saying to kill me on Facebook. That's him. And the moment he saw it was me, he tried to hit me with the car. So when did he hit you? I was behind you guys.
Yeah, she come up and set her straight. He's doxing people and he's causing trouble. His rear end is getting arrested. You want to get arrested? Keep it up. Here's something else to put on your medal from Mila Joy. This should pee you off. 3,920,028 illegal, might as well say 4 million, were given Social Security and Medicaid in 4 years. If each one of them was receiving $2,000 a month, that's 1,000,000,000. Wait a minute. 931,281,000. Might as well say $2 billion a month. Whoever set this up needs to go to prison. They risked our seniors' lifeline. So people are going to be demanding that others go to jail over this. Here's Trump. One of his answers during the 2016 election, they said it was a speech that won him the presidency. No, it was during a debate. An answer, I believe, that I believe did help him win. Of course, listen to what he's got to say, especially with what Mila Joy was saying, keeping that in mind.
About time that this country had somebody running it that has an idea about money. When we have $20 trillion in debt and our country's a mess. You know, it's one thing to have $20 trillion in debt and our roads are good and our bridges are good and everything's in great shape. Our airports are like from a third world country. You land at LaGuardia, you land at Kennedy, you land at LAX, you land at Newark, and you come in from Dubai and Qatar and you see these incredible, you come in from China, you see these incredible airports and you land, we've become a third world country. So, the worst of all things has happened. We owe $20 trillion and we're a mess. We haven't even started. And we've spent $6 trillion in the Middle East, according to a report that I just saw, whether it's 6 or 5, but it looks like it's 6. $6 trillion in the Middle East. We could have rebuilt our country twice. And it's really a shame. And it's politicians like Secretary Clinton that have caused this problem. Our country has tremendous problems. We're a debtor nation, we're a serious debtor nation, and we have a country that needs new roads, new tunnels, new bridges, new airports, new schools, new hospitals, and we don't have the money because it's been squandered on so many of your ideas.
There you go. And he was telling that to Hillary because of your ideas. So I put a link for Buy Me a Coffee in the description around the 19-minute mark in the chats. I'm sorry, not description, in the chats. So if you're watching the broadcast after the live stream, you can find the link. And also for anybody that wants to help out with the help support the channel, like Wayne did this week, Mike and Bev, Miss Menderson, hilarious too, Wayne and Norm. They both came in after hours and helped out. I do appreciate it. This is a totally viewer-supported channel, as many of you already know. Let me show you some stuff, propaganda that's going on over in Ukraine. What's this? What is it? Oh, look at this kid. What's he doing? He's holding pictures of people. Huh? What's he doing? Oh, a son of a regiment has been found in Ukraine. A young man who has already buried 8 of his fathers. Remember how we kept seeing the same people, actors with Band-Aids around their heads in different building explosions? How many times is this woman going to get blown up? Well, how many times is this kid going to bury a father? There it is. There were 2 more pictures. I couldn't fit them all in. 8 times they've got this kid to hold a picture and walk, oh, my father. He buried 8 of his fathers. The Ukrainian media are publishing these photos for a Western audience. Yeah, just like these lunatic women I've been showing you, and I'm not picking on women, I'm just telling you. Oh, here. Epstein is shaking up the world. The Mandelson evidence that skewers Starmer's defense. British Labour Party members have started looking for candidates to replace Prime Minister Starmer. Mr. Shaky Hands. The Daily Telegraph reports, similar proposals are being made to former Deputy Prime Minister Rainier and Health Minister Steering. A source added that the number of conspirators is too large to name them all. This is infested in the British government. Now you know why they want to have total control of social media. Now you know why they want to put people in jail over memes. Yeah, just like they were trying to do over here. What's this one? The U.S. administration is working on the issue of forming a temporary government in Iran in case the current Iranian authorities are no longer able to lead the country, reports The National. A source close to American initiatives to find an alternative to the current regime in Iran told the newspaper that President Jared Kushner's son-in-law is closely involved in the process. He is helping to gather a group of Iranian-American business leaders to provide advice on the formation of a transitional structure that would help govern Iran in the event of regime collapse. According to the source, the U.S. administration wants to gather Iranian opposition figures in Palm Beach, Florida. The meeting would take place this weekend, but the logistics of the event have proven to be complicated. It is also unclear whether the opposition will be invited to the presidential residence of Mar-a-Lago, located in the area or somewhere nearby. The White House declined to comment on this information. Okay, well, more heat being put on them. Let's see what this is. Might as well get the Ruski news out. Who's this fellow? He's somebody Remember the one that marched on Moscow and ended up dying in a plane crash? That's a picture of him in the middle in that group of men. I don't know what he's doing in this picture. This is a Russian news service, but you see this guy on the left, deputy head of the GRU. An attempt was made in Moscow on the life of the first deputy head of the GRU, Lieutenant General of the Russian Defense Ministry, Vladimir Alexeyev. An unknown person shot the general several times. I hope that word doesn't get me in trouble again. In the back, near his, I don't think it was that word. I think it was the subject matter about Biden. Do you all agree? The subject matter about Biden? But anyway, got him in the back near his home, and I can't pronounce that, and fled the scene. A criminal case has been opened, and law enforcement officers are searching for the assailant. Vladimir survived and was hospitalized. He is in serious condition and is in the intensive care unit. He has 3 bullets in his chest. Oh, my word. Yesterday, Zelensky announced that he had authorized new operations by the Security Service of Ukraine. So, yeah, they're definitely letting us know who they think is behind it. The virtual embassy, U.S. Embassy in Iran, has called on American citizens to leave Iran immediately. U.S. citizens should expect continued internet outages, plan alternative means of communications, and if it's safe to do so, consider departing Iran by land to Armenia or Turkey. Actions to take: leave Iran now. Have a plan for departing that does not rely on U.S. government help. Flight cancellations and disruptions are possible. Oh my, I guess you have American citizens who have relatives or what, business interests or what. I wouldn't be over there, boy, I can tell you that. If you cannot leave, find a secure location within your residence or another safe building. Have a supply of food, water, medications, and other essential items. Now, do you really have to tell people this one? Avoid demonstrations, keep a low profile, and stay aware of your surroundings. And monitor local media for breaking news. Be prepared to adjust your plans, keep your phone charged and maintained. Anyway, similar appeals were previously published at the height of Iranian protests in January and June last year on the eve of Midnight Hammer. So, that and the talk of putting in a government to replace the Iranian government's got them nervous. Here's something Trump put up. And this is election month 2020, Detroit, Michigan, where they kept an incapacitated vegetable hidden in the basement. That would be Joe Biden. I won't talk about the prior report. Here is Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, busted on surveillance video dropping off stacks of mail-in ballots to a drop box, an illegal act. After realizing they aren't signed, she gets back in the car and signs them. Total votes in 2020, 155,000. You can see it there. Total votes in 24, 140,000. Some. Where did the 15,000 voters go? Is that, yeah, 15? Yeah. Here she is, right here. Trump posted this video. Matter of fact, he posted it twice, along with the other stuff he was posting. Let me see. Where's my mic? Cut it off.
This woman is delivering a stack of ballots, and the person behind her rolls down the window and hands her a ballot to put in the ballot box with her stack. And then she goes back to her car with the stack of ballots again. And I think at that point she realized that the ballots were not signed. And so you're going to watch her sign each ballot in the vehicle. And she signs them and then puts them on the dashboard individually. First she searches for a pen, so it takes a second. But we've got this speeded up so you can see. But yeah, so she's signing. And when it's slowed down, you can see the pen in her hand when she reaches up and puts the ballot on the dashboard each time.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so she's
That's
man,
it.
You guys are
Good find.
fantastic.
Good find. That's
yeah, they
fantastic.
did a great job.
Find.
They did a great job finding this, and as you can
Yes.
see, there it is right there, and they did a close up with the camera. The footage is very clear. There she goes, right to the Dropbox. So, mission accomplished.
Unbelievable.
Look at her waddling back to the car. When is that bird gonna sing? When is that bird gonna sing? Where is she from? Michigan, yeah. Detroit, Michigan. It's rampant fraud, rampant. Here's something else Trump put up. $380,000 plus Election Day ballot images missing. Fulton County, no explanation. On the record, Janice Johnson, why are their ballot images not available? 380,000. Crickets. Video proves it. Georgia margin, 11,779. Timeline explodes. January 28th, 26 FBI haul, 700 plus boxes. Ballots, images, memory cards, voter rolls. February 26, Fulton demands return and warrant unsealed. Plus double scans, broken chains of custody, unsigned tapes on 315,000 plus early votes. Facts, not theories. Unseal it, release it, show it. Transparency equals trust. And this is a video Mr. T put up with that particular post. Maybe the feds will find the missing 300,000 ballots.
Does the investigation confirm that there are missing ballot images?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know why 380,761 ballot images from Election Day machine count are not available?
We subpoenaed Fulton County for all of their ballot images. We received approximately 518,000 ballot images.
From Election Day?
Those were for the recount.
Those are from the recount, but we have no ballot images for 380,761 ballots from Election Day, correct?
What was subpoenaed was the ballot images for the recount because that's what this case was about, not the Election Day.
Does Fulton County know why there are not 380,761 ballot images from Election Day?
As with the investigators, we have not been apprised of this allegation. This is the first I'm hearing about it. I have no idea what the basis of that allegation is, and so we would have to we can't answer that at this time.
Would Fulton County agree that every vote should have a ballot image?
Exactly. Why has it taken 6 years? Exactly. Just like with this appeals court ruling about this judge that was born of alien parents. They may have had residency, but they weren't citizens. Her parents, I call them counterfeit citizens. She's a judge, and she tried to put a stop to Trump ending DEI programs. He signed that executive order his first day in office. it just got overturned, this judge's ruling. Even though Trump was still doing it because they put a stay on the judge's order, but it took a year to get her ruling thrown in the trash where it belonged. Somebody who wasn't even I'll say, your average citizen. I'll put it that way. How about that? So anyway, what's this one here? Let me see if I have a report on this so I know what it is beforehand. Let me see. Oh, this is a post from Trump. Record stock market and national security driven by our great tariffs. I am predicting 100,000 on the Dow by the end of my term. Remember, Trump was right about everything. I hope the United States Supreme Court is watching. Now, how much do you want to bet that Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sonia Sotomayor want to take away Trump's power to tariff and leave us at the mercy of a bunch of European principalities to pick our pockets like they've been doing for generations? But anyway, the stock market broke 50,000. Here's the report.
A Major League Fox News alert. Listen.
Because here we go. The Dow is now above 50,000. And it is happening now. 50,004. John, there it is. This is an all-time high. I believe it's we're on track for the 5th record close of 2026. The market is bouncing back from what was a really uncertain market all week. The S&P 500, the NASDAQ getting hit by a tech sell-off. And here we go. It is off to the races, up almost 1,100 points, 2.25% gain. John, 50,000 is a big round number.
Boy, I'll tell you, and look at where it is compared to November of 2016 when Donald Trump was elected and everybody predicted that the Dow was going to go in the toilet. In fact, it went exactly the opposite direction. And then last year, when Liberation Day hit and all the tariff news came out, we started applying tariffs to a lot of goods coming in from overseas. Everybody thought, well, the sky is falling and the Dow's going to go back down to where it was in 2016. And I boldly predicted that by this time next year, the Dow would hit 50,000, and there you go.
Yeah, and they said if Trump hit 50,000, I think this might be the truth right here, that his presidency would be, the expert said if I hit 50,000 on the Dow by the end of my term, I would have done a great job. But I hit 50,000 a day, 3 years ahead of schedule. Remember that for the midterms, because the Democrats will crash the economy. Yes, we know that. Oh, here's the one I was looking for during the part 1, when I had that picture of Barack and Michelle up. Vince Langman put up, the same people who are outraged by President Trump posting a video that had an AI-generated meme of Barack and Michelle Obama dressed as monkeys have been making posts calling Trump a Nazi and a P3DO file nonstop for the last 11 years. Spare me your outrage. That's what I was looking for during the part 1. So if you're watching after the live stream, there is a part 1 to this video. I was unceremoniously dumped because I was talking about something just being talked about on the interwebs. On the interwebs. Can't we talk about stuff on the interwebs? But anyway. What's this one? Oh, I already read that. I showed you that, where CNN was painfully forced to admit President Trump was telling the truth and cutting ties with Jeffrey Epstein after Trump learned of Epstein's S3 actual misconduct at Mar-a-Lago. So yeah, I played that for you. Let's see. Trump posted this. I could play the video, but Trump just posted a freeze frame. Favor photo ID to vote. White, Latino, black. All well above 70%, 75%. You got 85%, 82%, and 76%. And he followed it up with this picture. Freeze frame of the report. Democrats favor photo ID by 71%. Republicans, 95%. Now, why would 29% of the Democrats not want people to present voter ID? I think we know why. Because they like to cheat. Oh, here's a little sad note here, folks. How many of you all remember Sonny Jurgensen, Hall of Fame quarterback, passed away at 91 years old? That's a good life. That's a long life. And, you know, he's been out of the public spotlight for a while, but he was, you know, a household name for a long time. One of the most celebrated passers in NFL history. He threw that wobble ball. Remember how it used to wobble? He passed away at the age of 91, his family announced today. So, the Washington Commanders, okay, whatever. He was a Redskin. Washington Redskins. Here is a story. Now, Don Lemon, how much trouble do you think he's going to be in? Because his liberal buddies aren't helping him out. His liberal buddies aren't helping him out. And they made another arrest in that situation with the church. Here, some character.
Also developing this morning, a new federal arrest is drawing attention to what prosecutors say was Don Lemon's role in planning and recording the disturbing protest of demonstrators storming that Minnesota church service. A Temple University student has now surrendered on federal charges, admitting he helped Don Lemon with logistics and local contacts ahead of that anti-ICE protest. Jerome Richardson, a political science senior, turned himself in and is accused of conspiring to interfere with religious worship. Court records and social media posts show Richardson describing himself as assisting Don Lemon in the days leading up to the protest. Lemon, who claims he was just reporting, was arrested last week and released, but prosecutors say this new arrest undercuts that defense, suggesting planning and not just passive coverage.
They call them anti-ICE agitators. No, they stormed the church. They stormed the house of the Lord. But they call them here's the idiot right here, a political science teacher. Okay? So how do you think he knows Don Lemon? Okay? You think they skip down the street together once in a while or go whatever they do? But anyway, for a political science teacher, listen to the talking points: libelous, racist, and the colonization or stolen land inference. He doesn't use those exact words, but this is exactly the person that does not need to have a job and interact with people. He's being paid to teach a bunch of radical ideology.
My name is Jerome Richardson. I'm a 21-year-old college senior. I've maintained my silence up until now about my connection to the recent protests at City's Church in St. Paul, Minnesota, which is my hometown, simply because I'm focusing on finishing my degree and graduating in May. However, with an indictment looming, I fear for my safety and the threat of public doxing. Having overcome many obstacles to reach this point, I really hope to be able to complete this semester and graduate and earn my degree. On January 18th, I assisted Don Lemon during his visit to the Twin Cities by helping with logistics and connecting him with local contacts. Don was reporting on the situation on the ground during the occupation by DHS and ICE and Border Patrol agents. And at that time, I was proud to support his work in exposing the everyday injustices resulted from the federal government's agenda. As a consequence of this support, I am now being targeted by Trump and the federal administration. I say this to say I'm incredibly proud of those who have already faced their indictment and detention, and I know this fight is far from over. Their courage has certainly inspired me. Yet this is the price of being unapologetic about humanity and love of Christ. I support the activists who felt compelled to highlight the hypocrisy of how Pastor David Easterwood could simultaneously be a pastor at the church and the local leader of ICE operations. What people are experiencing goes against human and civil rights, as well as the teachings of Jesus, who indeed flipped over tables. So while I've been an active youth leader since the murder of George Floyd, I'm speaking out now because I anticipate being in federal custody sometime in the coming days. I want to share my love and gratitude and ask that you all support through 3 actions. Pray for my safety and my peace of mind. Do not stop fighting against this oppressive system. And please support my legal defense fund, as I am in dire need of you all's financial support.
There it is. If you all want to send him some money, there's going to be some morons sending him money. He had the nerve to put a picture of Jesus flipping the tables in the temple. And he denigrates ICE, denigrates his own nation, wants to give away his own nation, our nation. Donald Trump put this up. Stop world control. Put up. Julian Assange said there's no dirt on President Trump. Even when Obama was spying on him, he could not find anything to compromise Trump. He is clean. That's why all they can do now is recycle old allegations that are unproven and have already been debunked. I played you that video where he showed Anon. What got me knocked off was the Joe Biden are talking about Anon. Ha ha, here's something for a little laugh. You guys get a shot of this for your meta page. My daughter in college texted me and asked where to go get air in her tires. I told her the gas station. And I swear on all that is holy, her response was this: I only have $88 in my bank account. Will it cost more than that? I mean, we thought because they couldn't write in cursive was bad enough. But they're lost compared to the way we were brought up. Insurrection Barbie. So just when I wanted to make sure I have this straight, under Obama, 58 people died in ICE custody due to horrible conditions, according to the right-leaning ACLU. 3.1 million people were deported, and more than half of them were deported without a hearing or a judge or due process. His guy was Tom Homan, same as now, and received a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Every Democrat-run sanctuary city cooperated with ICE. Tell me again how this is not manufactured outrage. Communist revolution. There you go. I can make it small enough so you get it all. Yeah, put that in your meta. We're not the only ones that see this as what it is, a communist revolution. Or a jihadist invasion, however you want to put it. And they're getting us financially. But more people not sleeping well tonight. Representative Comer probes Representative Omar's husband $30 million surge. He said it is a matter of great national interest. So you have the Clintons coming in. You're going to have maybe both of these characters subpoenaed to come in. And all the other stuff that's coming to light. Oh, really? I'm reading the chats. Yeah, well, the savings in the medical, if it doesn't affect you personally, it may be coming on the list. It may not be on the list right now, but I mean, it's going to be billions. It's going to be saved by our nation as a whole. What's this one? White House touts arrests of more than 4,000 criminal illegal immigrants in Minneapolis. President Trump's common sense immigration enforcement policies are delivering the public safety results the American people have demanded, Carolyn Levitt said. So, no, they didn't slow us down. Have you all been keeping up with the situation with Savannah Guthrie's mother? It appears that there was something. It wasn't a random thing. It was not a act of passion by another family member. It was a plot of some sort, is what it seems like it's gelling out to be. News: suspicious van seen near Nancy Guthrie's residence before feared abduction. Residents near the home of missing 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie said a suspicious white van was seen parked on their street in the days before her disappearance, fueling concern the abduction was deliberate. So they're still searching and surrounding the house. And let me tell you something. I have a friend that's a plumber. And he was going to pick me up somewhere. He said, I'm going to be in my van. I knew it was a white van with ladders on the roof. Next time you're street watching or sitting somewhere where you see a lot of traffic, note how many times you see a white van with ladders on the roof. It'll seem like they pop up out of the ground when you're looking for one in particular. Everybody's driving white vans with ladders on the roof. So anyway, we'll see how that all pans out. And we all hope that she is, even though my instincts tell me different, I hope she's safe. She has no medicine. She's elderly. She can hardly walk. And by all accounts, whoever did this had really no knowledge, or even if they did, concern for her medical condition, and it's terrible. It's a terrible shame. Portland police shoot and KILL. An armed suspect who posed as a Secret Service agent had shell casings threatening President Trump. Is this the third one or the fourth one we've seen where they write garbage on the shell casings? Officers discovered threatening messages written on shotgun shells that specifically named Donald Trump. Well, whatever his problem is, whatever hurt his itty-bitty feelings, it's not important anymore. Goodbye. Get a load of this. Second victim of Chaz shooting sues Seattle after $30 million payout to Antonio Mays Jr.'s family. Antonio Mays lost his life. Remember that? Negligence. So the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for not just 30 million, probably 60, 70 million, more than that. Just like I showed you with those little kids getting taken out to protest, so-called protests, throwing rocks at trucks, jumping around the streets. One of them gets hurt or one of them does something to somebody else. The taxpayer is going to pay. When really, the teachers and the administrators that allowed those kids to go out of that school and raise hell, instead of being in class learning facts, reality, true history. No, they're being put in jeopardy. Their children, they're endangering children. They're contributing to the delinquency of minors. They should be arrested for the things I just said. Oh, but it'll be like this. Somebody will suffer. Somebody will lose a child, or somebody will get hurt, and the taxpayer is the one who's got to foot the bill, and those dopey administrators will be right where they are right now, not suffering any consequences. Just in, red state governor's bizarre ties to Haiti revealed. Well, they haven't mentioned it very much, but the Clintons aren't just going to testify about Epstein. They're going to testify about the Clinton Foundation, Haiti. So this Mike DeWine creep, he fights Trump on TPS. He had 20 return trips, got millions in charity. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's trips to Haiti date back more than 30 years. What is it with this guy? How much he's helped Haiti. It's so wonderful. 30 years and millions of dollars in charity. Look how wonderful Haiti's doing. Wait a minute. I heard it was a death sentence and people got to go back there. Critics say that the long-running relationship has come with real consequences at home. First went there in 1995. Well, that's a little story we're going to get to the bottom of, I do believe. Miranda Devine. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson removed any shred of impartiality by applauding anti-ICE speeches at the Grammys. I didn't even know she did that. Did you all hear that she did that? A Supreme Court justice applauding people who are speaking out and vilifying federal law enforcement. Well, if some of the senators have been seated and do not belong because they've been fraudulently placed there, what do you think is going to happen? Ketanji Brown Jackson should lose her seat. Another thing I was asking, who is from Canada in the chats or watching afterwards? This guy here, you see at the bottom of the screen, posted they don't have anybody that talks like this in Canada. Let me rearrange this a little bit. So if anybody tuning in late can see what's behind it there. There you go. But anyway, Marco Rubio, I wanted to refresh your all's memory and play you this video. And I do appreciate everybody that supported me on Buy Me a Coffee. I didn't even get to put a link in the first video, but I got a link in the chats here at the 109 mark, I believe it is. And thank you again, Wayne, Mike, and Miss Menderson, hilarious too, Norm, and William for helping out. I'm just looking through the chats. Anyway, folks, well, I'm sorry about the first broadcast blowing a tire. And I don't know. Tell me what you think in the comments if you watched part one. What was it? Was it talking about a masked Joe Biden or other things I talked about? But anyway, folks, I'm going to play this video of Marco Rubio. Why don't you all have anyone in Canada that speaks like this? So anyway, I hope you all enjoy this video. And what do I always say? Thank you for spending your precious time with me. I do appreciate it. I should be going live tomorrow night. Hopefully earlier, we shall see. So you all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Marco Rubio just declared war on Satan. Take a listen.
We're all created, every single one of us, before the beginning of time, by the hands of the God of the universe, an all-powerful God, who loved us and created us for the purpose of living with him in eternity. But then sin entered the world and separated us from our Creator. And so God took on the form of a man and came down and lived among us. And he suffered like men. And he died like a man. But on the third day he rose unlike any mortal man. And to prove any doubters wrong, he ate with his disciples so they could see, and they touched his wounds. He didn't rise as a ghost or as a spirit, but as flesh. And then he rose to the heaven, but he promised he would return. And he will. And when he returns, because he took on that death, because he carried that cross, we were freed from the sin that separated us from him. And when he returns, there will be a new heaven and a new earth, and we will all be together, and we are going to have a great reunion there again with Charlie and all the people we love. Thank you, and God bless you.
We were all created in the image of God, but not all of us know Christ. That emptiness you feel, Jesus can fill it. That heartbreak you felt, Jesus can fill it. You too can be forgiven, transformed, and be made new. Hit like, share, and follow for